where the drama starts. Lap 30, 8 laps to go. Sam Doby hoping to take advantage of these lapped cars. Poleski dives onto the right side, very aggressive here. This is lap 4. The two Viceroys, Bill Frazier ahead of Matt Poleski. Frazier's off. Frazier hit the grass. You hit that tire wall, your day is done. Well, now it's lap 20. The Williams still trying to get around the Terrell team as he'll go around the left car and around those at the same time. At the same time, he's got the inside corner. Will he ride the curb? Yes, he will. He will get him on the inside. Vito Maria leading us all into Moss's corner. Look at the beauty as his right side will cook the grass. Oh, a 180, no, a 360. Oh. Who will yield going into this corner? It's really not meant for too wide as it will be Gernot. Gernot will yield. Lots of smoke picking up from that Williams car. He is pushing it to the absolute limit. 26 of 30 now. Only 4 laps to go. He's going to get the run coming out the final corner. He's going to pull up side by side with the leader. It's going to be a drag race to the finish. Who is going to get there first? It's going to be...
The smell of the salty sea air and the allure of the beautiful beach certainly isn't as powerful when surrounded by the overwhelming scent of gasoline and the roar of the engines. Phillip Island brings our drivers down under yet again. But its tricky nature hasn't changed a bit, so it's time to find out who has the chops to come out on top as we get ready to watch round 5 of the Lotus 79 CTC Championship. And all the retro open-wheel action from Green Flag to Victory Donuts can be seen live as it happens here on the Global SimRacing Channel. Flying high above Phillip Island, way up in the press box to bring you our words-eye view is Sam Ryman and yours truly, Sean Ambrose, our director, the doctor of pits topology himself, Amjad Yaman, with us today, armed with cameras, located, aimed, and zoomed by the GSRC camera guru, Dougie Beard. If you've brought cyberspace into your place, and over the next few streaming award-worthy minutes, GSRC will bring you all the storylines and all the stats and facts you'll need to appreciate the 36 laps of simulated historic open-wheel racing that will immediately follow. Sam, a long trip down under for us here today. Why don't you get the fans up to speed a little bit on Phillip Island?
Yeah, well, we're a little bit south of Australia here, Sean, 2.7 miles to be exact, south on this small island, Phillip Island. This track, it opened all the way back in 1956, has fallen into disrepair twice. However, as you can see in the background there, it looks nice today, and that is because it has undergone a couple of renovations that have turned it into a very exciting road course. It has a lot of decreasing radius and off-camber turns. That being said though, it's got a really nice flow to it. I really enjoy this track, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. 12 turns, so not a whole lot, but they, like I say, that they all just kind of work together really well. However, when you do get it wrong, you see there's a lot of grass and gravel out there that you could slide off into, lose a lot of time. There's a lot of elevation change around here that will throw these drivers a couple of curveballs. There's turns like the Southern Loop and Lukey Heights that could definitely shake the order up, but we'll have to wait and see. Let's give you an idea of what this track is like with our GSRC lap guide.
All right, we've got Johan Orlampi in the GSRC Lotus 79, so let's do a lap around Phillip Island. As you blast down the front stretch, pull over to the left side of the track. Coming up to Doohan, it's going to be hairy if people get too wide into here. Even though there's no lifting, it's marginal and the draft is likely to make it happen often. You'll also be braking very quickly for the Southern Loop, which can be pretty tricky in itself. Drivers are likely to try to double apex it to ensure they get a launch out of here. And because you won't be lifting on your way through Stoner, that makes this an important run. The reason for that is the heavy braking into Honda. This is one of the most popular passing spots on the lap. It's a sharp little hairpin, but it's pretty easy to outbrake yourself into here, so heads up. After that, it's a short burst to Siberia. You'll be climbing uphill around a cambered bend, but it's in your best interest to square off the exit. You'll keep on climbing, and it's a long ways before you get off the power, so your momentum will be important. As you weave through the S's on the backside of the course, hold right and then bleed off your speed through Lukey Heights. It's a balancing act around here, but once you reach the crest, definitely get the car woed up. Try your best to tuck the car in nice and tighty to the apex of MG. You're not out of the woods yet, because you'll need a little feathering on the throttle through the penultimate corner, and then finally you can let it rip from there on out. The final fast sweeper is all about minimizing inputs and carrying your speed onto the front stretch. Hopefully, you won't have to worry about the car behind getting a runoff of your slipstream, but regardless, you've now finished a lap around Phillip Island.
And there is a lovely, historic, beautiful trip around Phillip Island there in the GSRC Lotus 79. And now it's time to take a little swim through. We're going to get the beach trunks on and go through a little swim here through the driver point standings now here in the CTC Lotus 79 Championship. Jordo Frisch. Boy, things looking pretty good for the Team Tyrrell driver right now. 892 points. Nuno Moreira, 85 points back currently. It's a long road there. We're just about to hit the halfway stick in the season. So work to be done. Journo just has to be consistent to hold on to that. Matt Wood, 178 points back. Leonard Hughes, just right there, 50 points back there. And you know what? There's still a fighting chance. Steve Bycroft could get into this battle. He was only 273 points back. Now, as we done with the driver standings, look at the team standings real quick here. And it's Leger Jetan there at the top, 122 points. Now, Albalad, Saudia there, just a point back. A very, very tight battle here at the top. Nuno Moreira there for Parmalat Racing Team, of course, as his championship run goes. So will this team's success. Now, they fell just a point back, but you see there, folks, we've got a really, really tight battle at the top. Scuderia, Ferrari, fourth and fifth. Great battle there with Warsteiner. So look for a lot of action to still happen here over the last several rounds. Sam, but the Lotus 79 Classic Team Championship is always picking up new viewers. So for those of us maybe joining us for the first time, why don't you talk about the race details?
Yeah, well, we're approaching the halfway point during the season. This is based off of iRacing's official series, which goes on for 12 weeks. We are currently at week number 5. The drivers get 4 drop weeks throughout the course of the season. The teams, not quite as many. There you go. The teams just 2 drop weeks. That's what each of those raindrops represents. 36 laps here today. You're not going to have to stop for fuel. And these cars are generally good on tyres, so you won't have to worry about that too much either. Just a 98-degree track temperature, not the worst we've ever seen it down under. Incident cap, 17 points. Easy way to accumulate those today. Put a couple wheels off in the grass. If you do that 17 times, that's not good. Not only could you lose a lot of time by doing that, you could also get yourself booted out of the race. However, Sean, you were running through the drivers there, the top of the championship. A couple of those drivers not here today. No Frisch and no Wood.
No, in fact, not in this session. And that is a little bit of a surprise. But Nuno is here. And right now, down in qualifying just a bit. The qualifying order here looking with just under 2 minutes to go. Sam, there are some pretty big surprises here at the top of the qualifying. Sergio Macias currently with 118.365. He is your pole sitter right now.
Yeah, and I think he's going to stay there. I don't see this qualifying order changing, Sean. We just saw Ove Chantre going around on the track, but he's already done with his 2 qualifying times. So I believe Sergio Macias is going to be your pole sitter. The whole field covered by about 2 seconds.
Barry West just came out on track. He's going to take a go at it. You know what? I think that's his out lap. He's not going to have enough time actually to get a qualifying lap in. So Sam, the field is set. Why don't we go ahead and go to the grid? We might as well. And get that settled here before they get started. So it's going to be Sergio Macias there at the top with the pre-trick, Johan Orlampi.
And then starting on row 2 right behind them, we have the number 5 of Victor Rodriguez ahead of the number 8 Ferrari of Leah Hughes.
All right, in row 3, going to be Steve Bycroft and Nuno Moreira.
The number 12 car gets a solid qualifying performance in. That's Alex Millward, who will be starting ahead of the number 7 of Mick Claridge.
Mick Claridge in the party today. All right, Michel Dudignan and Ove Trengray. Dudignan doing a back-to-back here. Just got out of the Grand Prix race here a little while ago. So Dudignan and Ove Trengray occupy row 5.
And then we go to page 2 here. Sean Wiltshire at the top of that page in 11th, alongside the number 17 car of Adam Frazier.
Row 7, Martin Blaise and Michel Dijon.
Familiar with that name from the Lionheart series, Sergio Fernandez will be starting in 15th ahead of John Stevens.
Okay, and then row 8 going to be Billy Bob Wright with us today. And let's see, Tommy Unhola.
Yeah, and then one driver who didn't set a time back there is Barry West. The session has advanced to the race session, and the drivers are getting gridded up in the top of 2 splits here, Sean. As we mentioned, that whole field covered by 2 seconds in qualifying. Got a lot of competition out there.
Sam, we do. It's a strong field, and it did split. We got a split, so points are going to be at a premium here for those that did make it. This should be exciting. This track, Sam, you've raced this track, I know, several times. It's a favorite of many, including myself. This is going to be a fun one here today for the Lotus 79.
Yeah, I have raced this track, Sean, and I'm a fan of it. I've never raced in this car, though. It's going to be interesting seeing how these these cars have a lot of power for the lightweight that they have. Now be interesting seeing how they exit Lukey Heights.
Well, it's all going to start in Doohan first, and that will be the pressure cooker there as they get down to Doohan, because it'll be a rush to set up the car for the Southern Loop. It's such a tough turn. The car just wants to run all the way off into that huge, tremendous beach over there. And if you get out there, boy, that could be a race ender real quick on time, throwing yourself to the very, very back of the field. And the lights are up. Everybody on the power here and away. Sergio Macias gets a nice start to the race. Trouble at the back of the field. Cars all over the place. Huge incident at the back of the field, but the scramble into Doohan. Macias hanging on to it here. Now into the Southern Loop. John Stevens runs out a little bit. Norlampi runs out a little bit wide. Victor Rodriguez gets a good start here with him.
Yes, things all calm up front as they work their way into a couple of tight turns here. 3 drivers in the pits from that crash you saw at the back of the picture. It was Sergio Fernandez, John Stevens, and Michel Dijon. Good battle going on for 5th place with Moreira underneath Millward.
Yeah, I'm watching this one. Nuno finally gets by Millward there. Nuno had worked on it hard. Nuno trying to get up through this field. Obviously not a premium qualifying effort for him. He's got a lot of work to do, but here's the good news. The leader is still in sight. Sergio Macias still hanging on. Juha Norlampi hanging on to 2nd. And Victor Rodriguez doing a really, really good job here in the start of this race.
So as they come around to complete the first of 36 laps, Macias and Mick Claridge off at the back. Now cost him a few positions.
Okay.
All right, we're going to show a couple of replays here. Sean, what are we starting with?
We're going to start here at the beginning off the grid there at the back of the pack. It really looked like somebody spun their tires. I'm trying to see which car it was. It was John. I hate to call anybody out, but somebody got around. Oh, and I think I did see. It might have been Sergio Fernandez, actually, his car that got around. You see him there hitting that barrier. Man, tough break for 3 cars right there off the start. John Stevens out of it because of that also.
Yeah, I think it all started with Michel Dijon. He actually spun his tyres off of the line and collected a couple other machines. Just an unfortunate way to start the race. Fortunately, ever since then, granted, we saw Claridge running off at the completion of lap 1. I didn't see any other errors on the second lap, so things rather clean up front, with Macias leading after 2 laps ahead of Nora Lampke, Rodriguez, Bycroft, our first driver in order who's actually picked up a spot from the start, as Steve Bycroft started in 5th up to 4th.
And Sergio is just flying right now, Sam. That last lap, 1:19.5. Juha, in comparison, a full 4/10 off that pace. Sergio just enjoying his trip here through the clean air and gets through Honda. Very, very nice there. That's tidy. He's got the one on the car for a reason right now. It certainly seems that way. Juha Noorlampi back here in the mirror, just trying to fend off here Victor Rodriguez, who is charging hard, Sam.
Oh, Millward is off. Millward off at the top of Lukey Heights. He had been running in 7th. That's going to drop him back to 8th place. Position gained for Michel Dudognan.
Yeah, Dudognan picks up one there. And you know, I think Alex was just a little hot in the Lukey Heights there and overdrove it just a bit. But does a great job of reeling it back in. Able to hang on to it, keep it on track. He only lost the one position. He can get that back. Sam, the battle behind Macias, though, is a good one. We basically got 5 cars here now with Dudognan getting up into that mix. He's now going to be the next guy chasing Nuno Moreira, who's trying to catch Leard Hughes. And we haven't talked about Leard much, but, you know, he gave up one spot to Bycroft, but is still hanging in here and seems to kind of gotten into a little bit of a rhythm.
Yeah, they're all just biding their time right now. It'll be interesting to see as the race goes on, which of them do a better job of conserving their tyres, which of them are able to capitalise later on, make some passes with the lighter fuel load. Normally, from my experience in this car, tyre wear has never been a huge concern. I just think 36 laps around this circuit is quite a long distance. And with it being as sunny as it is today and as many cars on the track, I feel the track condition is really going to warm up as the race goes on. It will be interesting seeing if anyone loses grip towards the latter stages of today's race.
Yeah, we started this race with a track temperature of about 92 degrees. And like you said, it's only going to get hotter from there. So, you know, maybe as the fuel load starts to lighten up and these tires do get a little hotter, we may see some situations where, well, like Alex Millward had in the reverse of that, the tires getting hot and sliding off rather than overdriving the turns. But Macias has still got himself over a second ahead of Noorlampi, and Noorlampi seems to have gotten into his rhythm now as Victor Rodriguez has given up a little bit of time to him. But the front 7 right now all bunched up. Millward kind of having his own little battle there in 8th. Wiltshire and Ove Trengrade round out your top 10, and we haven't even really looked at that battle yet, but Wiltshire being hounded here by Ove Trengrade. Ove started in 10th, looking to pick up another spot here, getting a run at him.
Yeah, meanwhile, we'll give you an update. Sean Fernandez has returned to the race. He's currently 3 laps down. For one of the drivers involved in that opening lap fiascos, John Stevens and Michel Dejean are out of a race. But we return our focus to this battle for ninth place, because as they go down the front straight here, Ove Trengrade definitely has the slipstream. This is a passing opportunity. He'll be on the outside of turn 1 here. I was going to say if he could get a nice enough run out of a turn, he could take the inside into turn 2, but he wasn't able to do that.
That's all right. Ove makes a nice attempt there. He'll set up to make another one. He looked a little squirrely there over the left-hander, but he's still in the slipstream here, Sam, and as long as he can stay right out of the wing there, he should be in good shape. Adam Frazier behind him. Then there's another pack just behind him, another 3-car battle that's going on right now. Tommy Unhola, who's up 6 spots already, up to 12. Martin Blaze, Mick Claridge. Claridge, of course, made that mistake early, Sam, and still trying to work on getting back up to the front. Now, not used to seeing Mick in the Lotus 79. Of course, he more popular in the Lotus 49, and occasionally, and Mick there, Martin Blaze having trouble, and Mick finds him, and Mick's going to take advantage of that. Well, not yet. I thought he had him, but Sam doesn't quite pull off the move there.
Now, the racing line switches back and forth so much through that little complex, it's really hard to get a run on someone and pull up alongside them. They've got to commit to the racing line there in front of you, and they're just going to keep cutting you off. However, Claridge will be able to have a better shot, I would say, around this section of the circuit here. Not able to do anything right now, though. Unhola will be watching this throughout his mirrors. Unhola, you mentioned, up a good 6 spots early on here. Things didn't go for plan for him 1 week ago at Okayama, though, so he's going to want to hope for a bit more fortune and maybe even be a bit more careful if he gets involved in some wheel-to-wheel stuff in the next few laps.
All right, let's go back up to the front of the race right now, because Juha Norlampi has started to maybe get in a much better rhythm than he was just a couple laps ago, because he has closed this gap now to Macias to under a second, and having a pretty good go at it. Not really getting any help from Victor Rodriguez behind it. He's started to pull away from Victor even. So Juha Norlampi has got up in the saddle and seems to be taking charge here.
Yeah, we'll wait and see if he does do anything. Meanwhile, that battle for 13th has been resolved. At the bottom of Lukey Heights, Martin Blaze locked up the right front, and that allowed Claridge to get on by. Though Blaze doesn't really want Claridge to be ahead.
I don't think so.
Yeah, he must have a bit of less downforce there, because Blaze got a lot of a better run into turn 1 on Claridge than what Claridge got into Blaze last lap around.
You know, Claridge has just a little bit of damage on the left front wing. It's not much, but this car, very sensitive, Sam, and that could be just enough.
Potentially. So as you mentioned, Sean, we got the 7 cars at the front of this pack still covered by 4 seconds. So not a heck of a lot in that at all. Alex Millwood is kind of running on his own in 8th. Sean Wiltshire likewise in 9th. Then we have that battle for 10th place we've been keeping an eye on between Chandray and Fraser. And then this pack going on from 12th back to 15th. And that really rounds out your drivers who haven't ran into trouble so far this race. Billy Bob is also on the lead lap in 16th place, but far behind.
Well, Mick Claridge has caught Tommy Unhola, and I think Claridge has still got a little bit left in that car, because here he comes, Unhola. He's catching him in a great spot right there out of Swan. Across the line, he is definitely in the arrow here, and Mick going to dive to the outside and then back to the inside, and he's going to have to wait. Gonna have to wait just a little bit longer. Boy, but Unhola really struggling there for the Southern Loop. Mick really having to get on the binders there, almost looked like, Sam.
Yeah, well, that Southern Loop can be a very tricky turn, and Unhola really having to watch his mirrors now, because Claridge is getting close. Claridge actually getting alongside here as they go up to Siberia. And there's a bit of contact between them. No punches in iRacing, fortunately, so I think Claridge will get off better there than Unhola did.
Yeah, Claridge going to get to Lukey Heights first, obviously, and Unhola had to survive a charge from Martin Blaze there for just a moment. Unhola seems to be back on pace now, but That was good work by Claridge. Continues to try and recover from his incident earlier. Sam back up through the field, though. Norlampi still right there, just under a second. Not pressing anymore as he was just a few minutes ago.
Alex Millward is currently off course. He's been running all on his own. Gets back on track. Gonna lose a couple of positions there.
Yeah, here we go, Sam. We've got it. And the car just gets loose on him right there. You know, Sam, hate to say it, it almost kind of looked like a little bit of net code the way the car turned around. It just breaks so quickly and abruptly. It just doesn't.
Oh, and now Hughes is in trouble. One of our championship leaders. This, though, he's not as fortunate. He's been in the wall hard, and it looks like he's actually going to take a tow to the pits. His race may very well be done.
That is a real shame for Lear. We've seen this here on the replay, and he's just going to get a little bit of that inside curb. And boy, that did not, the car didn't like that. Did not like it at all. Here's another replay here on board with him. That's going to be an ender for his hopes.
Yeah, usually that's good news for the drivers who are running right behind. When they see the car spin off in front of them, they're like, oh, that's a position. I don't know if that's good news for Moreira and Dudagnon, though, because I feel like this front back has been benefiting from each other's slipstream a bit. And now that there's going to be a gap where Hughes' car initially was between Bycroft and Moreira, well, now Moreira's really got to crack down this lap, make sure he still has Bycroft's slipstream when they get back around to the front straight, because otherwise the top four could break away and leave those two, Moreira and Dudagnon, just back on their own.
Yeah, that's such a great point. So Nuno's got to be really slick here. He's got to try and pick up as much time as he can on Bycroft. Bycroft still got him by a good 1.3 seconds. Nuno's going to have to get busy on this section of the course here.
You saw the rear end of his car stopping out there as he was trying to get back on the loud pedal for this long run down the front straight. So the top, well, it's almost 3 sets of 2 now. Marcia and Norlampi have actually put 2 seconds on Rodriguez and Bycroft. So they've gone from having 1 pack of 7 cars to 3 separate 2-car battles, almost looking like a MotoGP race around here right now.
Yeah, and Nuno just went, I'm sorry, not Nuno, but Juha just went purple on that last lap there, Sam. So definitely starting to be a pest here to Sergio. Sergio spending a little time looking in his mirror now, unlike when this race started, and he was able to get away really clean. And Norlampi not participating in the championship this season. And that's why he doesn't appear in our standings. But a popular driver, and certainly has racked up quite a few wins himself over time here.
Things about to get dicey for 12th, I believe, because Inhola did not get a good run going down the back straight. And Blaze is going to try and get alongside him as they approach Lukey Heights here. Blaze has the inside, a very blind crest at the top of the hill here. You really have to know where the track's going. Fortunately, they've all done their practice. They should all know where it's going. Right now, it's going to Inhola's favour. He's able to maintain P12 for now.
It's not going well if you don't get it right, that's for sure. Blaze, not close enough here, Sam.
No, but you can definitely tell he's turned up the pressure a bit.
Yep. Catch him right here as they turn in. Ooh, Blaze gets a little bit of a run at him right there. Able to send the car a little bit deeper into the turn. Now he's all over him.
Oh, he was hoping to kind of fake Inhola out into defending the outside there, because Blaze cut back down to the inside. But Enola wasn't unfazed. He was unfazed, so he committed to just defending that inside line, and Blaze was never going to have a look into that corner.
Yeah, Blaze, Blaze needs to watch out here. He doesn't want to open the door too much for Barry West. Barry West hanging on here and, still fighting for position. So, that's definitely a factor in this battle. Blaze happy to battle, but not happy to give up a battle and give up a spot.
No, I think Barry West is just putting some extra butter on his popcorn right now.
Sergio Macias, now he has gone purple, Sam. So we're going to have a little bit of a tussle here between him and Juha, both trying to show off a bit and see who can go purple next. I don't think these are going to be the last time we'll see purple laps. And when we say purple, we're talking about, well, a race best. And for Sergio, that was a 119.234. I think that's right around where he qualified, Sam.
Yeah, qualifying times we're down in the 118s. Barry West's lap will be nowhere near that. He just went wide over at the southern loop, and south went west. Or west went south, rather. Oh, there was contact.
Wow.
Replay.
Yeah, boy, Unhola's going to get turned, and guy's just racing hard here into the turn. But he's definitely going to get help getting turned around, and then he's going to get run right into, just plowed. Go on board Blaze here.
Yes, so Blaze has actually came out on top of all of that, and West is second of the cars that got back on course, and then Unhola basically maintained his position.
I'll have to deal with the damage left. Barry, just looking at Barry's car, actually, Barry's car doesn't look too worse for the wear there. Might have avoided a big one there. That could have been a lot worse, Sam.
Yeah, these cars can be slightly resilient. It depends on where you hit them, how hard you hit them.
All right, why don't we go back to the leader? I'll tell you what, we're 15 laps in now. Why don't we go ahead and run down here the top 10. Sergio Macias, great start to the race for him. Hanging on to first. Juha Norlampi, not quite as quick as he was just a little bit ago. It's now back to 1.2 seconds. So he sits in second, and third for Victor Rodriguez, who honestly right now is got a mirror full of Steve Bycroft, who's trying to find a way to maybe make something happen here. And then we go back to fifth, and that's Nuno Moreira, who is still charging hard, still trying to close the door here on Bycroft, but not doing it yet. It's still a 1.8 second gap back to them. Sam, take the next 5.
Yeah, well, we got a, well, you talked about Moreira in fifth, Dudonyon sixth, keeping him honest. One of our closest two-car battles on the track, is what's going on for seventh with Sean Wiltshire and Ove Trangeray. Both of these drivers have gained a few positions in the opening laps. Trangeray trying to put pressure on and get 7th position. Adam Frazier, another driver who I think didn't quite have a race he was hoping for last time out at Okayama. He's running back 9th position ahead of Alex Millward, who was running ahead of these guys until he had that single car spin a little while ago. Good news is it doesn't look like he's got any damage on that number 12 machine, and he's definitely going to be thinking about getting P9 from Frazier in the not too distant future.
That actually is a pretty good close battle right now. Millward definitely keeping it close. Frazier, a lot to think about there up in front. Coming up that front straightaway now. Into Duhan. Frazier going to look to hang on. Gets the car turned in smooth here. On board with Millward. Watching that Warsteiner machine up in front of him. Keeping it clean here so far. Millward not able to close it down a whole lot there off the turn. Maybe try and get a little closer here, and Honda going to take a peek. Maybe try and cross him over, go to the inside. No, not there. Oh, looks to make a move. Stuck his nose in, crosses him over here, Sam. Good move by Millward. I think he confused Frazier just a little bit there.
We'll catch a replay, see exactly what Millward saw. Now that he's gotten that position, and won't be surprised for him to gap Frazier a little bit, because he qualified 5 positions ahead of him. Granted, his lap time in qualifying was only 4/10 faster. That's just the closeness of the competition at this level of racing.
Things heating up for 7th place. So Wiltshire, Ove Trengrade catching him here down the straight. Trengrade's looked pretty good here in Dohan so far today, and well, not bad. Not enough though. Wilshire going to hang on to it there in the southern loop. Trengrade maybe just a little bit better through there. Ove going to stay dead in his tracks, Sam.
I feel like we need more auto races on motorcycle courses. I mean, there's just such a great flow of the tracks like these that they lead to some pretty exciting battles that we've seen throughout today. Of course, I always say do the Ironman TT course first. All right, as they come back up to the top of Lukey Heights here, you see the racing line. It just go the turns. They go left to right, and then they got 2 more lefts here before the end of the lap. But so much weaving back and forth, just trying to keep on the racing line as Trentray, the rear end steps out a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, got a little tight there.
Yeah, it is difficult to make a pass. But when they do get alongside and they battle side by side for a few turns, it makes it quite exciting. The thing is, while these two are battling, that's going to allow Millward to try and reel them back in.
Yeah, you're definitely right about that. Millward is starting to actually pick up a little ground. He is actually a little bit faster than they are, Sam. That last time by, at least. Wiltshire, though, playing pretty good defense here so far. So good on him. He's able to keep that. Now, they do have a little bit of traffic coming up in front of him. That car in front of him, that's Billy Bob Wright sitting up there. And I'm sure Billy Bob will just get out of the way. But every time you reach any kind of traffic, it always seems to alter your line one way or another, unless you just catch him right in the, right down a long straightaway, which they may get that opportunity here as they make their way now down in Lukey Heights. This may work out just perfectly.
Yeah, I'm really surprised Billy Bob hasn't been into the pits to get that damage repaired. He's running about 4 seconds off the pace. I mean, there's been so little attrition and drama up front, honestly, that I don't know he would have gained a whole lot of positions either way, but he's just got to be a bit cautious driving around with all that damage on. But fortunately for our battle for P7, he pulls to the side and lets them go by. Alex Millward closed in at about another 0.6 of a second that lap around.
Well, our leader continues to...
Oh, Fraser off. And 2 cars off, actually. Is this related? I think the other car was Billy Bob. Yep.
Well, Sam, I'm just picking it up. Yeah, well, he was coming down Frazier was coming down the main straight. Billy Bob was in front of him, heading up to the southern loop, and wow, I didn't see Billy Bob really change line, but Frazier gets crossed up with Billy Bob and sends him off, spinning off track and into the pits.
Yeah, it's a bit of miscommunication there, and also just a very large closing rate on a track where the racing line moves back and forth so much. Just, I think a lot of multiple unfortunate factors there leading to an unfortunate consequence, but I'm sure Adam won't be too pleased with that.
Well, like you said, I think there was a breakdown in communication there. I think that's really what that came down to.
And
But
this battle for 7th continues to close up.
yeah, we'll move on and we'll go to the battle for 7th because you're right, Sam. It certainly one that is wise to pay attention to because Ove Trengrade certainly looking to make up points here, not just for himself but for his team. And Sean Wiltshire right there in the crosshairs, but Ove just not found the right opportunity yet. He still has plenty of time, and when they come across the line, they'll still have a full 15 laps left. But at some point, you'd like to get around and maybe get working on trying to gain another position, albeit that may be hard to do because dude Jan up there in 6th is 14 seconds ahead. Look at all three of them just get bunched up there.
Yeah, you talk about them running out of time, Sean. This race is going by a lot faster than what I anticipated it would be doing. Even though it's a 2.7-mile course, not a whole lot of heavy braking area, so they're knocking it out 1 minute 20 each lap. And things getting really close as they go into turn 1 there. Wiltshire holds on ahead of Transray, ahead of Millwood, but for how much longer? Of about 15 minutes and maybe 20 minutes at most of racing left for these guys to figure it out.
Yeah, Sam, really just a couple of hairpins here, no chicanes to deal with. You're right, it does open this course up. It gives it a really nice flow, actually. And as we've seen in all different types of cars, it's bad fast. 1 minute 19 seconds is nothing to joke about when we're talking about getting around this Phillip Island course. This has really been the battle of the race, though, the one we're following. Everything's still settled in up front. Wiltshire continuing to have a great drive here. He's gained 4 spots to be here in the top 10 and 7th. And so far, the defense has been good. Millward going to send it there into the turn. Oh, boy. And Ove's going to get a little bit too high up on the curb. He's going to lose that time. Millward with a great move down there in MG. He gets himself that spot and into 8th and goes on the chase after Wiltshire now. Ove got rattled there. I'm not used to seeing that.
Yeah, Millward, I'm sure, he's still kicking himself a little bit over that spin earlier on. He's determined to get these positions back. It always makes you feel less bad about spinning around when you gain those positions back. It makes you feel like, okay, nothing happened.
Yeah. Boy, it's a shame. I thought we'd maybe get a battle here up front that Sergio Macias would see more pressure from Juha Norlampi, but boy, Juha just doesn't seem to be able to match pace with Sergio in this race. He's fallen off just a little bit further now, just over 3 seconds. Still having a great drive, and still got to be a little concerned about Victor Rodriguez. He can't give up on the fact that Victor is only 1.7 seconds back, so Juha certainly can't make any more mistakes. The battle for 7th back on here, though. Millward, Wiltshire.
Yeah, not a wise place to attempt the pass back, I would say. I think he'd be better just waiting to get out of that final turn. He would have had a better run on Wiltshire down this front straight. However, the overtaking opportunities haven't all been used up yet. He's not close enough to make a move into 2, although that doesn't stop him from throwing it in there. If he can get a nice exit out of here, he'll be able to run him down. Meanwhile, there's been a bit of a scrap going on for the battle for the last place on the lead lap for 12th. Between Barry West and Tommy Unhola. However, that's broken up quite a bit right now because Unhola just ran off on the last turn. Back up to the battle.
Yeah, Bycroft, Nuno. Nuno's finally caught Bycroft and looks to maybe try and take the position away. What Nuno wants, Nuno generally gets. He doesn't get it there. Bycroft still, the man from Indiana is still holding them off. Maybe not for long. Nuno is awful close here. He's going to make up a lot of ground down the main straight. They're going to battle in a do-hand. He's going to come around. Wow.
Yeah, I think Bycroft pretty much just let the shadow by there.
I think so. I think so.
It's always scary when there's a shadow behind you.
Hey, I still check the closet every night, Sam. All right, well,
make a joke.
Yeah. All right. Well, Nuno finally gets himself up to 4th. I mean, he's picked up a couple spots, but I'm sure it's got to be the qualifying effort that he's going to keep kicking himself over. Can he catch Rodriguez? That's the question. I think that's going to be a good ask here with just about a little over 11 laps left. About 2.5 seconds. Certainly Nuno can do this if he can keep pace. So an outside chance here to maybe get onto the podium.
Yeah, they were all racing as a pack earlier on, and then it kind of broke up, and now and then it was processional, and now Marira's finally on the move. Maybe this is a matter of taking better care of his tyres. Things getting exciting for 7th place again. Millward right back within striking range. Don't do it too early. I think he's tucking himself up the back of Sean Wiltshire's car a bit too early, and it's washing out a bit down the final turn. He's not able to quite get the run he wants. Not able to quite get the run he needs down the front straight.
Yeah, and boy, tell you what, Ove may be the big winner in all of this before it's all said and done with, because it's nothing wrong with his pace. He's still part of this battle. And at the rate that Wiltshire and Millward, oh boy, and there's the door open for Ove. Ask and ye shall receive, Sam.
Yeah, well, I think Millward does have better pace than Ove. I mean, he was able to run him down and get away from him. The problem is once you're talking about this level of competition, within 10 laps left to go of a track which is not too much longer than the 1 minute a lap time, once you get within those final 10 laps, the drivers stop caring about who's actually faster and start thinking about, hey, I'm a racing driver, I want that position. So if Millward makes any more mistakes like that, you can bet Chandray will be all over it. Mick Claridge is the driver behind this pack of 3 cars. Remember, he also had a bit of trouble early on. He's not making huge inroads. He gained a couple of tenths of them that lap. He might need them to mix it up some more if he wants to make this a 4-car pack.
Yeah, and I don't know how many times Mick has dipped his toes over into the Lotus 79. But so far, aside from the one mistake, it's been a solid effort. And I'm thinking if that left front wing wasn't damaged just a little bit, he might have better pace. A little bit better, maybe a little bit more consistency in the 119s. But Mick doing a pretty good job with it. Listen, Mick Claridge is a wheel man. And I often say if you can drive that Lotus 49, I think you can drive just about anything. And he's certainly one of the best over there in that. So maybe just some time in this machine.
Alex Millward got all crossed up as they were exiting Lukey Heights. He did quite a whale of a job to hold onto it. That's another mistake that's going to bring Chandray right on his rear wing. Unless Chandray really challenges here, I'd love to get a replay of Millward's hands that work down the hill, but oh wow, what's going on there?
I think that was Billy Bob Wright getting out of the way,
okay.
but he was definitely part of the action there. And
Ove's
Ove's
gonna pull this off. He's on the inside.
He's gonna keep it on the inside there. Good car control there on the bottom. Ove able to get around for now.
Yeah, I think we might want to just stay on this battle now. It would have been nice to have seen Millwood's nice little save that kicked this all off in the first place, but I have a feeling there could be some more dramatic action coming up within the next couple of laps.
Yeah, I think there's gonna. I think it's safe to say there's gonna be more drama. Okay, well, big news here. Sergio Masi has just set another fast lap. Sam, he just went 119 flat, so he's definitely approaching those qualifying times now with a 19 flat.
Yeah, I don't agree with our director's timing and scoring. I'm showing a 118.999, but each their own.
Nuno Herrera just made a little bit of a mistake out there on course, and we don't have to go back and look at it, but he had a little bit of a lockup, and boy, it's really brought Steve Bycroft into the picture here to maybe challenge for that fourth place position. But Nuno is making a good charge on Victor Rodriguez and still continuing to come to have a little bit better pace, at least on the last lap. But that four-wheel lockup didn't help him. I'm sure it didn't help the tires either, any.
Oh, and there was contact between Trangeray and Millwood. Millwood got underneath Trangeray, and Trangeray still trying to... He might have a bit of damage. He definitely has dirt on his tyres. He tried to get back on track before Clavidge was going to pull it out of the race. I'm surprised that did the damage to Trangeray's car. That did it. Didn't look too much like harsh contact. I'm sure Ove's not going to be too pleased about it.
No, I'm thinking he probably won't be. They were fighting hard, Sam.
Oh, and Clavidge off hard into the wall. Mick Clavidge was defending from Alex Millwood, got out of a racing groove. Almost looked like a software failure, the way he just went in the wall. I got to imagine maybe he got loose once he got out of a racing groove and overcorrected into the wall.
I think he overcorrected, Sam. I'm watching his hands right now, and yeah, the car snapped on him, Sam. It started to get loose. He tried to correct it, and it just snapped. Tough break there. Claridge had really recovered well and was putting down some great laps. Now, all of a sudden, we've seen a lot of attrition in this race.
I'll tell you what, though, Sean. At the end of every GSRC broadcast, we say thank you to the drivers and competitors, thank you to the music people, thank you to the software. Let's give a thank you to a particular driver out there today, Sean Wiltshire, because the top six, I've got to admit, has been quite processional throughout the race. But Wiltshire getting a good start. He started 11th. He's been running in front of that pack that we've been watching all race long, withholding the pressure, and really that's what's been creating all these good battles. It's a shame to see it go south for a couple of the drivers.
Yeah.
But he's just been doing a whale of a job, not only of holding on in front of them without making any mistakes, but for us, putting on a good show.
Yeah, agreed, Sam. Certainly one of our drives of the race right now. You know what? I do want to call a little bit of attention to Barry West, too, though. West has made his way finally into the top 10. And, yeah, well, a little bit of attrition came into play. But, Barry West started this race back in 19th, Sam. And, the guy chasing him, Tommy Unhola, he's in 11th. He started 18th, so terrible qualifying effort for him. These two still hanging on here at the back of the field.
Yeah, last two cars on the lead lap now, just down to 11 cars. And with not a whole lot of laps left, just 5 left to go for Macias now.
Yeah, and the one battle I keep my eyes on here is Bycroft and Moreira. Bycroft right now outpacing Nuno by just a little bit, by about a 10th.
Yeah, recall Moreira got by Bycroft and not too long ago, pulled away from him a little bit, but maybe he burned his equipment off trying to go for trying to push his car later on in the stages here, and maybe it's coming back into Bycroft's hands and he's closing laps. Either way, I think we will see a battle here with just 4.5 laps left to go. And they have 5 seconds over the next car behind them. Michel Dudognon back there in 6th place, so these two can afford to race it out.
Yeah, and Victor Rodriguez continues to be just consistent enough to stay ahead of Nuno and really not let him be a factor here in the closing laps of this race. As I say that, I'm hoping not to jinx our good friend here, Victor Rodriguez. Well, I certainly think the team of Rodriguez and Macias, they are going to be very, very happy with this result today.
Here's our battle for fourth. Moreira going defensive to the outside. Bycroft still able to pick up a slipstream though. Looked down the inside, realised it wasn't going to happen, so gives Moreira the corner for now. But definitely sticking his nose out there, letting him know he wants that fourth position.
Always love to see Bycroft fighting for a position, man. Again, this is an Indiana guy. You think Indiana, you think Indianapolis, you think racing at its best, and Bycroft out here really giving Nuno a go. Sergio Fernandez having trouble right in front of our battle we were just watching here between Bycroft and Nuno. He got off actually right in front of Juha Noorlampi, and I don't know if he was trying to move over for him or not, but certainly made it closer than they would have liked. In fact, Rodriguez is now closed up on Juha quite a bit.
Yeah, that was Billy Bob, the other lapped car off course right there. Just a couple of drivers trying to make it to the end. Hopefully they'll stay out of the way of our leaders who have just 3 laps left to go.
Oh yeah, okay. There we go. Yeah, Juha just gonna get by there.
So 1 second between Juha Noorlampi and Victor Rodriguez. Noorlampi can't really afford a mistake.
No, he can't. Rodriguez trying to make this a 1-2 on the podium right now for him and Sergio, but the Preacher's got to hang on here for just a couple more laps. Bycroft still trying to catch Moreira. It's about a half second.
And Alex Millward hits the back of Bob Wright. Billy Bob had stopped on the side of the track. Millward came out of a turn unsighted and got into the back of him. Hopefully Millward's going to be able to limp that car around to the finish. And now finally Billy Bob has retired from the race. Unfortunately, Millward will too.
Wow. Well, it's I got to say that's pretty bad there for Millward. I hate to see that. Boy, Tommy Uhola having trouble out here on track right now, Sam. Tommy had trouble on the first straight, and that trouble continued all the way down to Duhan, and everybody is getting by him.
Yeah, well, he's currently running the last of our cars left running, really. Just 1 lap down. Well, Sergio Fernandez still out there. I have a feeling after he's seen the some of the ridiculous incidents we've seen being caused by lap cars out there today, he doesn't want to be a part of any more of them.
Well, Sam, our leader Sergio Macias has avoided most all of that today, and had just 1 excellent pace and 2 great skill. Obviously, you don't get your I rating up over 7,600 by being a bad driver. And Sergio going to come around here out of Swan, and he's going to take the white flag. 1 lap to go. Last trip through Duhan under green.
Yeah, Juha Noorlampi just put in the best lap of the race. It's just a little bit too late. Mind you, maybe not. Maybe he's doing that in response to Victor Rodriguez being only a few tenths behind him.
I think that's more the case. I think Yuha doesn't want to give Victor any hope here on this last lap.
Fourth place could get interesting before we get to the line too, with Maria in front of Bycroft.
You really could, Sam. I'm keeping an eye peeled on that. I'm way far away view right now, so I can watch both battles. But yeah, I'll tell you what, Steve's going to get an attaboy from me because he's really, really trying hard. Nuno Moreira is never an easy driver to catch. But Sergio Macias, I'll tell you what a drive today. He's been good. He's been awful good, and he's been great. And he is going to be your winner here at Phillip Isle across the line. Sergio Macias, congratulations. Big win in Australia today for him. Second place going to go to Yuha, the Preacher, Nora Lumpy. Victor Rodriguez with an awesome drive today. He'll finish third. Bycroft going to bring it home in fourth, and Nuno Herrera will take fifth. That's a good race, Sam. That was solid here at Phillip Island. You said it a moment ago, though. It was strange. There were some pretty strange incidents out of here during this one.
Yeah, fortunately, Dudagnon avoided all of that too to get sixth. One of the drivers who we gave credit for creating a lot of great racing action in these mirrors was Sean Wiltshire. He crosses the line and he will safely bring it home in 7th place. So that's one of my drivers of the day right there.
Well, Sam, we are going to take a quick break here on the Global SimRacing Channel. We'll be right back here to wrap up today's round of the Lotus 79 CTC Championship. Welcome back to Phillip Island, Australia, and GSRC's coverage of the Lotus 79 Classic Team Championship. Folks, it's a good one today. 36 laps here on the island, but Sergio Masis got the pole and got the win. And boy, he had a very, very relaxing looking drive here at Phillip Island. Juha Noorlampi, the Prix, will finish on the podium there in second. Third, going to go to Victor Rodriguez. Steve Bycroft, I'll tell you what, he had a great race and did a good job of holding off Nuno Moreira there at the end. He'll finish fourth. Nuno, fifth place for him. Michel Dudignan picks up 3 spots. Struggled a little bit early, but finally found his rhythm and finishes sixth. Good run for him. Sean Wiltshire, we talked about his success here today. Sean, a great drive. He'll finish seventh today. And then we dare look at eighth. Martin Plays. Barry West, another driver, had a really, really solid drive, come up through the field, got in a little bit of trouble, still survived it, finishes ninth. Tommy Unhola, he'll round out the top 10, Sam.
Yeah, then we get to drivers who didn't have as fortunate finishes. Alex Millwood, we found out after the race some of his difficulties was caused by him loading the wrong car setup for this race. He'll be credited with 11th ahead of Sergio Fernandez in 12th. Billy Bob actually surpassed the incident cap, so he wasn't able to continue at the end there and finished 13th ahead of Ove Chandray and Mick Claridge, 2 drivers who had pretty decent races going, fell apart a little bit at the end. Adam Fraser will be credited with 16th ahead of Lara Hughes, who was running up there in the top 5 before he spun out. Mitchell DeJohn, one of the drivers involved in the opening lap carnage, finishes in 18th. John Stevens also was unfortunately part of that carnage. He will be credited with 19th.
All right, Sam, tell you what, we caught up with Juha Noorlampi. Juha, congratulations on another great race in your career. My friend, it's been a while since I've talked to you. How are you?
Hi, Sean. I missed you.
Missed you too, buddy.
Oh, nice to hear you. I'm very, very fine because I'm at good condition now. Since at September I got cured with this CFS, and I just had to say to some viewers that I'm not sick anymore, and thanks to God about that, and I'm feeling really, really, really great now.
Well, that's the best news I could hear today, to be honest with you. I'm so happy for you. Congratulations, Juha. This was a bit of a challenging race. There was a lot going on behind you. But you know what? Victor Rodriguez really tried to make a run there at you at the end.
Yeah, it was fun. But I knew at first that Sergio Macias would be very tough to beat because he's one of the most fastest guy in the world at this Lotus 79. And I'm really glad that I could battle with him again, and I'm glad that he's also getting better and better, and he has been recovering from a very severe sickness too, and I'm glad to race against him, but I knew that my chances would be at the first 1/3 of the race because I had a much more or a little less downforce than Sergio, and I knew that with a heavier car I could be a little faster, and I think I was, but I couldn't go enough close to take over to try overtake him. And after that, after 15 laps, he just ran away. I couldn't match the pace because he was too quick for me. And well, yes, last 15 laps was terrible because I had cramps in my toes. I couldn't brake.
Eat bananas. Eat more bananas.
Bananas. Yes, thanks, Sean. I couldn't brake probably, and it cramps when I just tried to push my clutch, and I was hoping and praying all the time that it would last and I could finish. I almost thought that I could stop the car and don't race again anymore. But well, luckily I was second.
All right. Well, luckily you were, and again, just a real pleasure to talk to you. So glad to hear the news that that you are cured and that you are feeling well and strong. It's always fun watching you run these races here in the Lotus 79. Congratulations again on a great run. We'll see you next week, buddy.
Yeah, I hope so. And it was a pleasure to hear your voice again. Come soon back. Bye-bye.
All right. That was Juha Noralampi, our second place finisher today. And Sam is run down and caught up with Barry West. Barry, always a pleasure to talk to.
Hi. Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, you were right. You were right in the thick of it with the battles going on back there, Barry. And I believe you were a big mover through the field, starting 19th, finish 9th.
Yeah, that's a good one. The race before, I had a top 10 as well with Martin and myself reversed the other way around. But yeah, it was a good one. I didn't have the pace to catch Martin, but I just tried to keep pushing and not over pushing sort of thing. But yeah, it looks like a lot of people fell by the wayside, and they gave me lots of points.
Yeah, it seemed to be a race of two different races going on up there. The front of the pack was, let's be honest, very processional. The middle of the field was where all the carnage was going on and all the battles. Were you surprised to see that much attrition through the middle of the field?
Well, yeah, I don't know. It's just this track seems to cause lots of trouble. I think all the races I've been in, I think this is the fourth one this week, and I've managed to avoid carnage because if just a slight tap on the front wing and you just lose so much speed on the straight. So I just did everything I could to avoid any carnage. Fortunately, I won around it in this one, but the one before was. But yeah, it was interesting little battle with Mick when he came off and then got past. Well, no point in slowing him up because I just slow myself up. And Tommy, I had a good little ding dong with Tommy towards the end. Yeah, he was catching up, and I was hoping the leaders weren't going to catch enough to let them through. But yeah, we just held on, and I think he must have made a mistake towards the end. But yeah, that was a good little race. I mean, fairly lonely for me, but I'll take the points.
You take the points and also carry a bit of momentum heading into next week's race at Imola. Is that a track that you're looking forward to?
Oh yeah, I do like Imola. It's one of the classics, isn't it? Yeah, that should be good for the car.
All right, well, we look forward to seeing you in action there. Congratulations on your top 10 today.
Okay, cheers, Sam. Cheers, Sam. Bye.
All right, and cheers to Barry West. Sam, one last driver to talk to, Tommy Unhola. Tommy, that was a challenging race out there today. You had a lot of positions to make up. You didn't have a great qualifying effort. What was that like trying to battle through that today?
Yes, it was very challenging today. So yes, qualifying didn't go well enough. It didn't go well at all. I was last with time, I think, and I should practice that more. I actually only do raceful stints and easily forget to practice qualifying more with cars that it's more important, as I more ride cars that handle almost the same with race and qualifying full. So it's very different in this.
Well, Tommy, you were right around that excitement that happened there at the drop of the green flag. How close was that for you? Were you close to hitting anybody there?
I don't think so. I took a bit better start than a car in front of me and started moving left, and it might have saved me. I saw one car spinning on right and just kept my foot down as I could not do anything. And then in my mirror, other car or two maybe crashed just after me, so maybe if I slowed down, they would have hit me. I have not seen replay yet, but I think it was pretty close. But I just almost went straight through, and it got away very easily. And there I made most of my positions too.
Well, Tommy, congratulations on surviving this one today and getting yourself up in a top 10. Anybody you'd like to thank before we let you go?
Oh, well, that's an interesting question. Of course, you for making all these broadcasts and guys that help us on this series too. Mr. Moreira, so very good setup as well. Many others, he's switched so well to me. And actually, I was trying to for last week's interview, when question was something like if I struggle with the modern down forecast on so something like that. So I actually practiced this week to try with McLaren, and I got into lower split, so could not show you guys what I did learn, but I won that without incident, so that was not so bad for
All right.
second Formula race.
Well, congratulations, Tommy. Hey, we'll see you next week, my friend. You take care until then.
Yeah, thank you too.
All right, Sam. That was Tommy Unhola. Sam, always good to have you on the broadcast, buddy. I love working with you, man. It's always fun, but lots of people to thank here. First, I want to thank the Lotus 79 Classic Team Championship for choosing to fly with GSRC as their exclusive broadcast company. And the original music that gives every GSRC broadcast that unique flavor and feel is thanks to Eric Ekholm and Casey Lalonde. See the screen for how to contact each of them. Now, folks, the Lotus 79 Classic Team Championship returns in 1 week, Sunday, April 22nd from, yes, Imola. Imola. A lot of history there. GSRC will be there to bring you all the action. We hope you join us. Sliding across your screen now are some upcoming broadcasts, so check those out and mark them down on your calendar. Folks, if you want a complete list of all the broadcasts we've got coming up, you can find them right here on YouTube. More importantly, subscribe to this YouTube channel. Stay in touch with us and know when we've got these races coming up. You know, we've also got a list of broadcasts coming up in the future on our website at globalsimracingchannel.com. You can also find us on social media. Hard to avoid us at GSR Channel on Twitter, Facebook. Just type in Global Sim Racing Channel. And yes, we are on the gram. Find us GSRC_gram. Folks, finally, on behalf of my booth mate, Sam Ryman, our director, Amjad Yaman, our camera artist, Dougie Beard, I'd like to thank all of you for watching. And with that said, we're all going to run off and go storm the castle for our old buddy Soup. So until next time, race clean, race hard, and I'll see you on the track.